Hey, what is going on everyone? Welcome to Gaming on Demand Interactive, and today I'm going to just take you through Dirt 4. This is a game by Codemasters. It came pretty much out of nowhere, especially for me. I did not even know that Dirt 4 was in development, let alone coming out so soon. I believe it came out on June the 9th, a few weeks back, and yeah, I've put in about 40 hours to this game now. You probably have noticed that not many videos have been going up on my YouTube channel because I think that doing a video after you spend quite a number of hours in a game is much more beneficial than just doing one straight off the bat. Obviously sometimes straight off the bat's pretty fun, but something like Dirt, you pour your hours in and then you can sort of talk through the game and let you know if it's worth buying, which I think yes, if you're into single player racing and rally especially, then Dirt 4 is definitely worth your while. Let's have a look at the options and extras first. Game preferences, you got a load of options to deal with here. Difficulty settings, I went for Pro, simply I quite enjoy racing games. I feel I'm pretty decent at them, but that can be debated. So you got all different things. You can change it to your heart's content basically. All the UI and HUD options, turn them on, off, whatever you like. Two handling styles, gamer or simulation. I go with gamer simply because I like a bit more of an arcadey feel when I'm playing racing games. But simulation, I've tried it and it's not too far different, but cornering and that is a little bit more tricky. You got gameplay options as well, blah-de-blah-de-blah-da. You got your profile, which you make your name and your age and all that. It's not really important. Leaderboards multi-platform, that's really cool. I believe this is multi-platform for Steam, the Windows Store, and Xbox One. I'm not entirely sure if it's multi-platform with the PS4, simply because of PlayStation and Sony being a bit like dickheads. Input, that's pretty standard. You just calibrate your things. Steering, how much percent you want. You want it more sensitive or less sensitive, etc, etc. Graphics options. One thing I will say about this is I've got it on medium just because I'm doing a video, but because I didn't want it to lag, but I've been playing on high. The only thing I will say about this is turn the crowd off, because if you have it on high or ultra settings especially, and the crowd is set to high or ultra, the frame rate is ridiculously low. Like, okay, 30 frames per second is not ridiculously low, but when you're used to playing in 60 frames plus, it really affects your performance, especially on a high-speed racing game. If you turn the crowd off, I literally went from about 30 frames to about 140. It's that big of a difference. I don't know if they're going to patch that and try and fix it, but whoever coded the crowd really did a piss poor job with that. Other than that, everything just normal. So, you got your mailbox, which you just get random messages throughout the game about sponsors and team offers and whatnot. You got your vehicles. This is what I've got in my garage at the moment. I've got 30 slots. I've only got 13 vehicles because I only buy them when I need to. That's why I've got 1 million plus credits. But you can get cars to the dealership. You got all different vehicle classes. I believe there's over 50 vehicles in this game, which isn't a lot compared to other racing games, but for a dirt game it is more than sufficient. Classified as well, you can buy upgraded versions of vehicles that have been used already. You see like their distance traveled, and they're all randomized as well, which is pretty cool. So you can buy all them. And then your team. This is, after a few races, you can make your own team. You can hire and fire chief engineers, up to 4 engineers depending on your facilities. You got a PR agent, which basically negotiates better prices if you race for a team, if you get a sponsor, and you can get better staff as well through the PR agent. And then your co-driver, your rallycross spotter, and your land rush spotter are all just default. You can change them if you don't like their accent. Pretty much, that's about it. These are all just the default ones because I had no problem with them. Branding and sponsors. This will take you into Dirtfish, which is pretty much your home hub. Once it loads in, it does take a little while to load into this, but so this is Dirtfish in the US, and here you can change your team name, your team colors, your team pattern, driver details, what number you want, what color you want it, and all that, and your sponsors. So you can select up to 6 sponsors once your facilities allow you to do so, and the higher your PR agent, the higher offer of quality you're going to get. So I've got 3 A's and 3 B's at the moment, so that will give me payouts if I do certain things in certain races. Yes, I want to leave the branding sweet. Okay, now we've got to load back out of that, and then the facilities are your last thing in your team, which you can upgrade to your heart's content. If you've got the little red exclamation mark, that means you can upgrade it. So the catering block I could do now. It makes everyone a bit more happy and wants to work for me, and that's pretty much it really. All these just give you a discount on whatnot, and skill decreases, skill increases, sponsor slots, like that's 6 and that's an A. R&D, that's pretty important because that's upgrading your vehicle. Everything else is pretty cosmetic, but pretty nice to have if you can get the funds. And then the events, this is the flesh of the game. Main part of the game is going to be a rally. As you can see, I've pretty much done every event apart from the final. That is the International Rally S Series. That will make me the champion of rally. Land Rush, only a few events in this. The only one. Alright, we're back. Yeah, so cross kart, I do not like how them karts steer at all. It's horrible. So I just skip them, and you can do that because you only need to complete one of these events to get that one, which is pretty cool. So that's Land Rush. Rallycross, this is probably my favourite part of the game, especially online, if you can find an online match, that is. Yeah, again, cross kart challenge I haven't done because them karts are horrible, but Rallycross is really interesting. It's a short circuit with rally cars, and you got a joker lap which you have to take once per race. That's pretty interesting. And then Historic Rally, which I haven't started yet, is not as long as the rally, but it's certainly the second longest. Oh, content change detected. Okay. That's weird. That's never happened before. Yeah, so that's it. And then the competitive is your multiplayer. You got the Pro Tour, which is sort of like, the best way to describe it is division, like a division on FIFA, something like that. So I've got +1 point. I haven't played a hell of a lot of this because simply you can't find a match, which is the most frustrating thing in this game. And before anyone says it's because you're in the game a handling style, it's not. I turn to simulation and I actually can find even less games. These are community events. You got 2 dailies every day, and you compete in them, and you get a time and you get a tier, and once that timer expires, then you get a credits reward because of the tier. So I think what we'll do this one, and we'll have a look at the gameplay. So this is how you launch in. It gives you a brief view of the circuit. This is just a straight Custer Highway long descent. So you got your weather forecast. Normally you got the time of day. It doesn't actually say it this time. I don't know why, but it would normally tell you the time of day. So we can just go to the stage, and
Nothing's been reported
have
to
a
the
look at how the
marshals.
game
The
actually
stage is clear
plays.
for you.
The stage is clear for me. So here we go.
5, 4,
We got our
3,
countdown.
2, 1, go.
And we're off.
200 over bumps.
So the first thing you
100.
probably realise is
Right
that
5,
it's
don't
not as
cut.
good looking as Dirt Rally. Dirt Rally was a
Right
really
4,
good
don't
looking
cut.
game,
60.
and this one is a
Right
bit
6.
disappointing in terms of how it's dropped down in graphics. Obviously I have knocked it down to medium, but it doesn't
Right 5.
make that much
Left
of a
over
difference.
jump maybe.
Really.
Left 4 through dip. 60.
Got to try and concentrate a little
Right
bit so I
5,
don't just crash.
200
But
over bumps.
it plays really
150.
nicely. It is a continuation of Dirt 3, I'd say, with a bit less of the
Into left 6.
racing and more rally,
Right 5.
back to rally.
And right
I
4.
don't really remember
60.
Dirt 3 that well, but
Right 5. And left 6.
so you got your co-driver calling out
right
all
4 over crest.
what you
80.
gotta do.
Left 4 over crest.
and we go on like
right
this.
6.
So we'll just do a bit of gameplay.
And left 5. 200. 200 over bumps.
Try not to crash
And right 6.
while
Into
showing
left
the
3.
game, or left 3. A little bit of a clip
Right
there,
6. Into left 4 long. Opens. Keep in. 250. 200 over
Okay.
bumps. 200.
but it's going well so far.
Turn. Open hairpin right. Post outside. 200.
Right.
200 over bumps. 200.
You can do that with a handbrake, but I find that a bit hit and miss. Sometimes it will work really well, and other times your car will just
Don't cut. 60.
blast into oblivion.
Right
And
6.
yeah,
Logs inside. And left 5.
Logs
Forward
inside.
through dip.
Avoid
Right
them
6 over
logs.
crest. Right 5.
It's actually a
Keep
pretty
left over jump maybe.
easy
Left 4
course so
through dip.
far.
60. Don't cut. Right 5. 60. Left 4.
I hate the ones in
and
the snow.
Right 6. Into left 5.
These
150,
compacted snow
200
courses in
over
Sweden
bumps.
are
60.
horrible.
Left 5, 60. Right
But
4
challenging.
through dip. Keep middle over crest. Left 5, 150. 200 over bumps.
So we're about halfway there
250.
now,
Right
2 minutes
6 over
15.
crest. 80.
but even with the recording,
Right
this
5.
frame rate is very, very smooth.
And right 4, post
I don't know
outside.
if it's coming
60.
through on the video as smooth,
Left
but
4.
with that crowd
and
off,
turn. Left 2.
because there'd normally be crowds like behind them,
Right 5.
all them
don't
barriers
cut.
there, and
And right 4.
literally
don't
when you
cut.
get to bits with the
150.
crowd, the frame rate will drop
200
dramatically.
over bumps.
Like it'll be bad the whole way
100.
through, but when you actually see crowds,
Right
it will
3.
drop.
Don't cut. Into left 4 long over bumps.
So I never had that problem with
Into
Dirt
right
Rally,
5, 250.
and I believe Dirt Rally has a higher
150.
specs rating than Dirt 4.
Right 3.
I think because Dirt Rally was the love child for
Into
Codemasters, you know,
left
they
6, 80.
really
left
wanted to
4.
do that game, but it was more crowd-funded,
And
early
right
access,
6. Into
to
left
be able to
5,
do that.
80. 100
whereas this
over
is one of their
bumps.
main games. So
Crest 100, 80.
what I really want from
Post outside.
Codemasters though is
Left
a new
3
grid
long,
game.
keep in.
Like
100,
Motorsport was
crest
good, but
60.
Grid 3 would be really nice.
Turn
and
acute right
it's pretty
60.
disappointing
Post
that
outside.
They're focusing on the
crest.
F1 so
Left
much.
5.
Like I know a lot of people enjoy them F1 games, but I'm
Left 4.
not interested in F1 really.
And right
I don't
6.
really like
Into
F1
left
racing.
5.
I much prefer
Right
rally
5.
and
Keep left over jump
Motorsport.
maybe. Left 4 through dip. 60. Right 5. Don't cut. 150. 200 over bumps. 100. 110 over bumps.
this guy isn't that Welsh,
Keep left
which is
over
okay.
crest. 100.
I think if his
Left
Welsh accent
6,
was a bit more
60.
Welsh, I would have changed
Right
him.
4 tightens over crest. Into left 5. 60.
the-
Right 6.
The
and
English
bump,
accent
and
is a
left
woman, I
4,
believe, and
right
she has a
6,
really annoying
200,
voice,
200 over bumps.
which I just couldn't
100.
listen to.
100 over bumps.
So we get into
Crest
the end.
100, 150. Right 4 long. Tightens. Keep in. Into left 6. Don't cut. 150. Over finish to stop. Slow to the marshal, please.
So obviously you'll see there isn't actually a marshal there. Normally there's a guy like ushering you in, but because I turned the crowd off, he's not there. It's just emptiness.
Amazing result. That's unbeatable.
Unbeatable result apparently, but I'm probably in tier 2. Right, so we'll continue that. Oh, I just got an achievement, taps F. Don't know what that's about. Okay, so I've completed that, so we can have a look at the current standings. I'm in tier 1, just about. 424 was the threshold and I got 423. So yeah, and you can complete them. The daily ones are just 1, the weekly ones are 6, and the monthly one, which I've already complete, is 12. I'm in tier 1 for that one as well, which is pretty nice because I'll get quite a big payout. Will I be paying that by playing this game still by the time it's paying me out? I don't think so. Simply because if I go on multiplayer and go to join a session and just search everything, there will probably be no sessions found. There's maybe normally 1, but for a new racing game I would expect there to be multiplayer sessions. And on the competitive, the Pro Tour, you search, you probably have to wait 5 to 10 minutes to get a game with at least 4 people. It's really quite frustrating. And then the other modes you have are the free play, where you just drive around. The Dirt Academy, you can do challenges and that, and the Joyride, a time attack and smash attack challenges, etc, etc. But that's not really why. That's a nice break if you want to do something else in the game, but obviously the core game is the rallying and the racing, which the single player I'd say probably has about 40 hours, maybe 50 once I've done the historic rally, so maybe 50 hours worth of racing in the single player. And then if you do them daily challenges, weekly challenges, I'd definitely say you get about 60 hours worth of content in this game. Is it worth the $44.99? That is the price on Steam. I would say no. I picked this game up on a Keys website and I paid just under £30 for it, which I think is a pretty decent price for what you're getting here. But that has been Dirt 4, everyone. Thank you very much for watching, and again I would say apologies for the lack of videos recently. Like I said on Twitter, you know, some things were happening and I just needed to take a little break, but I'm not going to be doing videos as regularly as I have been, simply because I want to play these games for a while first and then put out a video which hopefully is a bit better. Obviously leave your comments and tell me how you liked it, or if you prefer me to do the first look impression videos again where I just jump in the game and start recording. I'll still do a few of them, but mainly it will just be a little informative video at the end, near the end of my gaming time with the game, just letting you know how it is. So thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, comment, like if you like it, dislike if you don't, whatever. See you later.